Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to do another Tell Me Anything reading today. So it could literally be anything. No idea what the universe has in store for us. It might be a personal message for one person who really needs it, or it might be a general message kind of for everybody that we can all take something from. We'll see. Now, I didn't really get anything through intuitively last night, which is funny because yesterday, like the night before, I got so much. It was like non-stop. But all I got through kind of was echo songs. So Dear Society by Madison Beer and 3 Minutes by JP Sachs. Now I don't know if that's because they're really trying to emphasize something there with those songs that I'm missing, or if it's because I put them in readings this week and other people are listening to them and then I'm hearing them back again. That's why I call them echo songs rather than a song that's kind of come out of the blue. So the kind of parallel that I can see from those two songs, what I think they might be trying to tell me today, the song Dear Society, I'm hearing the line, all the things I should have quit but never did. I don't know why I hadn't needed to see that O on the end there. All the things I should have quit but never did. But instead of quit, I'm hearing did. Now it's going to be bad grammar, but I'm hearing all the things I should have did but never did. So I think like somebody's kind of like, I had all this stuff about time in yesterday's reading. So somebody may be thinking, where has all the time gone? I've got all these things that I wanted to do in my life. I've got all these hobbies I wanted to try, all these kind of projects I wanted to complete, but the time's just gone. Where is the time gone? So it's this feeling of like not having enough time to do everything that you want to do, and like regretting that you didn't do the things that you wanted to do. You've been perhaps doing the things that pay the bills, but have you done the things that kind of you can put your heart and soul into? So there's this element of this, the things that you want to do versus the things that you have to do, and feeling like you want to do the things that make you happy. There's also this 3 minute song by JP Sachs. Now there's a line in there that says something like, we've done more, you've done more in 3 minutes than they've done their entire lives. So I almost feel like somebody's perhaps going to win big. They're going to like do something as a kind of passion project, or do something as like they're going to like spend 3 minutes doing something just because they want to, just because it makes them happy, but actually it turns out to be really, really successful. So I don't know what that is. We'll see if anything comes through in the reading for that. And then it's the really funny thing with the songs. I got because I didn't get very much through intuitively, I randomized on Spotify 4 songs. Now they're both by, I've got 4 songs and each one is by the same artist. Like no, 2 are by one artist and 2 are by another artist. So it's really weird. It's like these doubles. So the first song that came through was Give It To Me by Timbaland, Justin Timberlake and Nelly Furtado. Now it's Timbaland. He's a record producer, and I was getting records through yesterday as well. I like put the needle on it and you spin me right round. So I don't know if this is for somebody at the tail end of yesterday's readings. But it's Timbaland. He's a music producer, and I loved his stuff when he was really big, really popular, and he was doing that stuff with Justin Timberlake and Nelly Furtado. I loved his music. And then the other song by him that came through was Apologize with One Republic, and that's funny because that song kind of means something to me, which I can't go into, but like so yeah, I don't know what that's about, but Timberland is the link between them. Timberland, so it could be something to do with land, because the other 2 songs were both by Oasis. So we've got Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis. So maybe somebody really likes these the producer and the musician. Maybe somebody really likes the band. Sorry, maybe somebody really likes those kind of artists. Timberland and Oasis. Timberland, Oasis. Maybe like the forest, the woods is somebody's oasis. Maybe somebody really enjoys spending time out in nature, around the trees. Not sure what it's trying to tell me. I think it's more about the artists than the songs in this case. I mean, you could go and look up the lyrics. I will put any songs that come through in your reading down in the description box below, and you can go and look those up and just see if the lyrics have any additional messages for you, any additional meanings. Yes. Right, I've got a new pack today. I've been after this pack for a while. It's the Light Seers Tarot. You probably may have seen quite a lot of people using it. Excuse me, sorry guys. Yeah, you may have seen, oh well, that's a good start, isn't it? 2 of Swords and 3 of Swords. Lovely images to start off with there. I was going to say, it's a really nice pack. It has some really beautiful images, and they're quite modern as well. The people are wearing modern clothing. So I like that as a bit more of a modern alternative. I kind of want to get a couple of other packs that are a bit more modern so I can use them together and have like, just stylistically, because I'm a Libra, right? I'm into aesthetics. I kind of want like some kind of consistency through the different decks I'm using. But this one's kind of quite got quite modern images on it as well. So we'll see. I don't know. It's just me being fussy. So I think that's everything I needed to say in terms of like the introduction, so I guess we're going to hop onto the reading. Well, I should also say I've got a positive vibes just stick burning for you today. We want to bring more positive vibes into the world. So I'm going to the Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz. This is an oracle deck. So let's see what this deck has for us. That is too much. So I'll just say, I'm noticing the Starborn. I'm going to take the Starborn because that's the one that I saw. And I'm just going to give it another shuffle, see if anything else wants to come through. I'm not going to take that many cards, thank you. Anything else wanting to come through today? One last try. One last try. Anything? Oh, anything else wanting to come through today? No, that's what it wanted us to take then, I guess. And the underline is the siren. So the siren's call, that's the cave from Mumford and Sons. Some you might be attracted to someone who's very siren-like. Somebody may be hearing a call, hearing the siren, wanting to move. There may be some kind of seductive presence around that is like drawing somebody. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but there maybe it's just a force that's at work, you know, it's an attraction. 1 second, actually 1 second, I'm just going to shut the window. But I don't know if you heard that was a car outside with the radio suddenly blasting, and it was talking about a hurricane. So I don't know if that has any significance to anybody. Do be careful if you're in a hurricane path, and if you're in hurricane territory. Yeah, and I was talking about an alarm possibly, wasn't I? Hearing an alarm. Yeah, but there may be something that's quite seductive for you. Something that's very, very tempting. It's magnetic. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's just a force that's in play at the moment that is something that's drawing you, something that's energetically pulling you towards it. 1 second again. Maybe you've got a lot of distractions, hey? Anything that happens in a reading is usually something to do with the reading. So yeah, a lot of distractions. A lot of people being noisy perhaps when you're trying to work on something. Guys, we'll get through it together. So moving on to the Starborn then. I know some people who come to tarot readings like star seeds, so you could go and look that up if you're not familiar with that. It might be something you want to look into. I don't know a huge amount about star seeds, so I'm not the best authority on that, but that's what this card kind of makes me think of. I think this is potential for kind of like your glory, right? There's this egg and it's cracking. So there's something hatching, and it could be something that's really quite fated, something that's universal, something that is kind of meant for you, and it's being birthed into the tangible world right now. It's been sort of growing. It's been like, I'm thinking of that cosmic egg card in this deck. It's kind of like something that's been protected by the universe just for you, some kind of gift, it might be that you have some sort of gift that is about to be recognized, perhaps even just by yourself. But again, it's like that 3 minutes. I've done more in 3 minutes than they've done in their entire lives. It's like something that you're gifted in, something that you're meant to do, like the perfect person to do it. It's like perfect person, perfect place, the right time. And you may even do it accidentally, but I think it may be you. I'm saying you. It may be somebody else. It may be just this potential energy that is in the universe right now that we can tap into. But it's like this thing is like coming down from the universe, and it's actually hatching into like a tangible reality now. It's actually true potential. The time is right. So it could be an idea hatching out a plan, hatching something that you've put work into, something that you've kind of like planted seeds in, starting to grow, starting to evolve, and you're going to start to see the benefits of that. So I feel like this is kind of like potential, something coming in that is also, it might be something that kind of catapults you into stardom, something that kind of it's like 5 minutes of fame or 3 minutes of fame if we're going with that JP Sachs song. Yeah, I think I'm going to read from the book, but before I do, I'm just going to try and, I don't know if you can hear my nose clicking. My nose clicks sometimes, and it only happens in readings. I don't know what it is. I don't know if somebody has a clicky nose that comes and watches my reading, or like, I don't know. But yeah, it only happens in readings. It's so strange. Back in a second. I can't stop it. I don't know what to do, but I just saw 11:22 on the timestamp, so at least we have that. Okay, the Starborn, the Divine Child, the Stargazer. No, the Divine Child, the Star Child, the Destined. An elusive yet radiant aspect of the self, the Starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light that arrives with each being at birth. The moment the newborn crowns... Okay, I'm not going to read that. The royal stars above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps our path in the world. The idea of destiny is controversial, yet the starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose. I was talking about hearing the siren's call, right? In the world. Wait, hang on. The idea of destiny is controversial, yet the starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself towards a future that is beyond the mundane. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues and insight. What did you desire when you were young? Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than as a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. So that it gives you the words alight, trusting, vibrant, aimed. And it also says, when this card appears, don't be surprised if you receive a surge of desire, the siren, a surge of desire, for a long-lost dream, one you haven't visited since childhood. Let this desire shake you up. Have your chart read, study your constellated shape, ask questions. What does the process conjure in you? Faith or mistrust? What would happen if you saw the galaxy as your ally? Interesting. You probably are already starting to do that if you come into tarot readings. So there you go. You can pause that, reread it yourself, read those that word that I didn't want to say. There's nothing wrong with that word. It's just trying to make my life less crude. Really picking up someone's sort of feeling a call to do something that is meaningful to them, that feels personal, that feels destined to them. I might read that siren card as well. Just one second. Yeah, so I'll read this as well, but before I do, they're drawing my attention to the fact that I keep on saying, just a second, just 1 second, and then we've got that 3-minute song. It's like things that are eating away at your time, 1 second at a time, almost, like lots of little things nibbling away at your time. Perhaps someone keeps saying to you, just a minute, just a second, and you're like, no, I feel this call, I need the answer now, this kind of thing. So there's a reason why I keep saying that today. I think they draw my attention to it. So excuse me, before I read this, I'm seeing it today in a very positive light. I'm seeing it as the siren's call in terms of it's awakening something in you. It's like they're giving me a drumbeat. It's like hearing the drumbeat inside you, hearing the call, right? They're giving me run like wolves. Just 1 second, I'm going to write these things down. 1 second, I said it again. Run like wolves. That's Cat Empire. I think I had another song for you, didn't I? And then Cave by Mumford and Sons. So I'll put all these in the description box below for you. So the siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. So you thought you wanted something. Perhaps you've had goals and you thought, I'm thinking of that All That Glitters Is Not Gold card that came out yesterday for somebody. It's like you thought you knew what you wanted and you went for it, you got it, and then it's like, well, that's not actually, it's not giving me the joy and fulfillment I thought it would. So now you're having this call to something that feels more authentically you. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters. And the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, 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 to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option, unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. So it's about, if you are feeling very tempted towards something, like you have feelings of desire or lust or this kind of magnetic pull, it's like the universe is triggering that to make you reassess yourself, to do some inner work. Why do you feel like that? Kind of a bit of shadow side work. So, allowing yourself to explore those, things that perhaps feel taboo, things that feel like they're denied, they're off limits. And I'm not encouraging you to do anything that would be illegal, right? And I'm not, do sort of use judgment. You don't have to always act on your feelings, but if they're there, they are worth exploring, because you may do some inner work that kind of heals you. There may be issues that you didn't even know that you had that are underlying, that are affecting your life and holding you back. So it's just this time to kind of be analytical and think about why you're feeling things like that. Has something been denied to you? It says, embodying the siren archetype requires that we explore the things that are taboo. The siren laughs at conventions and constraints. She eats the rules. Yeah, so this is, I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Hierophant card or the Devil card in today's reading, because yeah, it's like, what do we have up here? The father in the comic there, and the self. Okay, we're getting more. I knew I needed to use this deck. I put it back. It's the deck that I knew I wanted to use initially. But because I was trying to go for that aesthetic around my new pack, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want this pack. It's kind of got quite a few dark cards. So I put it back, and then I sat there and I was like, no, I need to use the archetypes deck. So I feel like these cards are really coming through for a reason, because they're making a lot of sense to me. So the father, I've had like this reoccurring message about somebody's father being a little bit controlling, a little bit domineering, a little bit very sort of traditional, very by the book, not giving the children a lot of freedom, right? So this is kind of like what the father here is representing. You're obviously the self, okay, radiating with this beautiful energy that's unique to you, this personal story that is your story. You're not living out your father's life. You're not your father. You're growing up in a different environment to the environment that he did. So I'm just going to move it more central to the scene. Again, Libra aesthetics, right? So I'm just noticing all these vibrant colours. So I'm seeing you as the comic. Now, the thing with the comic is they are somebody who... I might even read it. I'm only 19 minutes in, so I think I've got time to read it. But the story of the comic is someone who is kind of... They put on a mask, and they have this kind of balance of this very childlike, playful, mischievous energy, but underneath they've the reason why they're like this is because they kind of embodying both sides, like the shadow side and the light side at the same time. You can see the person is represented as a shadow, but they've got all this beautiful light around them. They're actually probably quite an old soul, because they've got this real balance within them of... I'll read the comic. but I'm seeing this as you. Like, it's like you've been to the dark places, you've got those shadows within you, but you also radiate this beautiful light. It's like, because you've been to the shadow side, that has enabled you to shine. I can't quite describe what I'm trying to say, I'm sorry. It's like, I know what I want to say, but where are you, comic? There we are, the comic. The Joker, the clown, the fool. Sound familiar? Just to me. This comic card carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up out of the darkness through laughter. This card, you know, I love this card because it feels like me. I have a really sort of a mischievous sense of humour, and whenever there's any negative feelings, I'm going to have to plug my phone in. I'm on 15% battery. I'll just say this though first. Whenever there's any kind of negative feelings, negative energy around, negative vibes, whether that be somebody who's trying to be very controlling, whether that be somebody who's trying to be a bit too serious, whether that's somebody who's trying to stir the pot, cause trouble, or just this kind of negative energy, it triggers in me this need to be playful, to laugh, to joke, to play the fool, because I'm trying to lighten the mood. It's like a natural response for me. Sometimes it gets me into trouble, because not everybody, you know, especially not everybody responds to that. Sometimes people do, it lightens the mood, but sometimes it just makes people more angry. But then you've got that mischief again, where it's like you've pushed that person's button. They're upsetting you because of their mood, because of the way that they're acting. So you go in trying to joke, trying to lighten it up. It annoys them, they retaliate, and it brings out this spark in you, this need to kind of push their buttons more and more and more, and just watch them self-destruct. And it's like, it's terrible. I'm aware of it. I'm aware that I do this. So I am trying to, I have learned over the years to, when to just back away, leave people to it. You know, you don't always have to play the fool. Sometimes you can just let people rant about whatever it is they're ranting about, and you know what, maybe ranting makes that person happy, but I'd rather be the comic. So I'm going to plug my battery in, and then I'll continue reading that. Maybe this is the relationship that someone has with the father. Maybe they've got a very controlling, domineering father. Excuse me, and their response to that is to play the fool and to wind them up and goad them. Or perhaps because they have a controlling father and they don't have any freedom to express this beautiful, like, funny, playful side around this person. They weren't able to do it growing up. Perhaps they kind of shows up more in their day-to-day lives. They're you know, when they're away from this person, they can let this shine. So perhaps it kind of like, my throat's closing up. That's a sign that somebody's not speaking the truth. Maybe somebody doesn't feel like they can speak the truth around the father. But what I was going to say about this comic card, it's like, I was thinking about how I used to work in customer services in retail, and sometimes people would come in and they'd be very angry, and you were told to be nice to the people who are angry. One, because it can diffuse the situation, but two, because it's quite funny actually to see them blow the top, because when somebody's angry, the response that they expect, the response that they want in that kind of angry, hot-headed state is for you to match them on their wavelength, match their level. They want the argument, they want the fight, they've got themselves all G'd up and they're ready to argue and shout. And it's like, if you don't match them on that energetic level, it throws them. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do. It's like because you're doing something unexpected, if you're laughing or smiling or being nice, they don't know what to do. It makes them freak out. Yeah, it can actually be, if you've got this playful spirit, it can actually be quite fun to be nice and watch that person just self-destruct. Like, they're showing me like a robot with steam coming out of its ears. Right, okay. Sorry. Now you know my dark side. But my dark side comes from a place a place of, it's there for a reason. So anyway, though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius. I told you it was me. As humour requires one to see the situation from afar, rather than being swept away by the drama. So they're showing me the fire ants card. It's like people jumping on the bandwagon. What's it called? Mob mentality. People getting riled up, but it's like being Ghostbusters 2. I watched Ghostbusters 2 this week, and the thing with that is like there's this slime, it's this ooze, but this slime in Ghostbusters 2, I'm sorry if it's spoilers, but it's been out for 30 years. I don't know, it's out when I was a kid, so if you haven't watched it yet, spoilers. So it has this ooze, this slime that's running under the streets of New York, and this slime can be positively charged or negatively charged. So the more angry people get, the more this slime kind of magnifies the anger. It makes people more angry, but you can kind of play music and it makes the slime kind of happy, and that then affects the mood of the people around it. It's like a mirroring effect, where it amplifies mood. So I don't know why I'm talking about that. What was I saying? So this fire ant energy of because the situation gets tense, what most people do is they kind of sheeple into it, right? They kind of they get drawn into that energy. It's like that siren card again. It's like because the energy's there already, people kind of get drawn into it and they find themselves acting in the same energy. The comic doesn't. The comic looks at things from a higher perspective. They kind of step back from the situation and look at what's happening and see it for what it is, and that enables them to kind of play on it. It's kind of like a higher awareness, not being able to step out of a situation and not be affected by that siren call, that mob mentality. It's more of an individual energy. I really wish more people would do that because I hate mob mentality. Humour requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and the serious mind. They literally lighten us up. So they're giving me the word alchemist. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. Hilarious, ingenious, spirited, easygoing. Joy, jokes and smiles are a sign of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. Important point. The comic has plenty of shade to throw on others, and it can fall into shadow at the drop of a hat. Beware of their sharp claws. Yeah, so the comic can be very, very cutting as well. It's that what I was saying about if you keep pushing, if you keep being angry, it makes the person want to push your buttons more and more and more. So if you're dealing with a comic, just be aware that getting angry with them is not going to work. They're just going to keep winding you up more and more, right? But this is kind of like this person's talent. I'm seeing this as you. If you're watching this reading, this is your ability, right? This is your gift from the universe. You're the comic. You're the alchemist who can take situations that people can't think clearly when they're getting swept away by this tide of anger or emotional mob mentality. People can't see clearly. They can't step out of the situation when they're all caught up in it. But because you can step out of the situation, you can mold it, you can amalgamate it, you can kind of alchemically change the elements of the situation, or see all the elements and rearrange them to create new elements. It's like making fun. I am a huge believer in comedy and satire, because I think there's a strength in it. And this is what he was saying about beware any kind of leaders. So the father, this card can mean any kind of people of authority, anyone in a position of power, whether that be the church, the government, your boss, the establishment you work at. It's just authority. Okay, it's authority energy. If you are following someone, if you're following a doctrine and it doesn't accept comedy, it kind of shuts down comedy, shuts down laughter, shuts down fun, then be aware, because what the dynamic between these two, the the comic, if you think about school, right, school teachers, the biggest threat to a teacher's authority is the comedian, is this ability to make other people laugh, because it brings joy and happiness, and that is a hugely powerful thing. So if this person is trying to be serious, if they're trying to put the foot down, if they're trying to establish rules and stamp their authority, it's a power play, actually. It's a negative, it's a shadow side. I mean, depending on the reason, obviously teachers have a need for authority over a classroom. But the comic is able to undermine that authority. They're able to usurp the position of power through the comedy, through the laughter, through mocking or satirizing what the father is trying to do, the father energy. It can be a woman as well. So yeah, it's this childlike, playful. It's almost, they're giving me. We're moving from I don't know if it's Saturn or Jupiter or I think it's Saturn. It's one of the big, slow-moving planets, and it moves like it's something like 30 years, or yeah, I think it's every 30 years this planet moves into a new sign, and it's transitioning now. It's transitioning from Capricorn into Aquarius, and it's huge for the world. It's like a major shift in the world. So you can go and Google it, or I might try and put a link in the description box below. Cap into Aqua. So it's like you hear people saying the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is a period where, well, the age of Capricorn is a period where there's a lot of authority. It's like it's this kind of father energy controlling the world, controlling everything. It's a huge impact on the whole world as we know it. So it's like doing things by the book. There's a lot of governments will have a lot of power, churches will have a lot of power, there may be a lot of power plays, you know, if you think back over the past 30 years of people trying to seize power, especially sort of in the Middle East as well. So it's like everybody wants to control, everybody wants to be the father, and kind of anything that's kind of untoward, anything that's disruptive, any different opinions are shut down. It's like, how do we shut this down? So yeah, there's a lot of that where you know, the smaller voices, people like Black Lives Matter, people standing waspies, people standing up for the rights of the little people. They're not getting the news coverage because the politicians control the news, right? Or because yeah, it's like silencing the rebellions. How do we silence them? Boris Johnson buying up water jets so he can hose down protesters, all this kind of thing. It's, you can really feel that in the last 30 years of this, you know, we're having control, we're having authority, a lot of very traditional values as well. If you look at the people who control the countries, I know England, it's the Conservatives in power. America, it's the Republicans, right? Donald Trump's party. It's very traditional, kind of old-fashioned values. So then there's a lot of tension between the two, like it's almost like polarized then, because you have the traditionalists and you have the people who are kind of fighting for the little man, or you know, trying to bring in this kind of new freedom energy. So I'm getting so much from this reading already, and I knew I was meant to use this pack. So the age of Aquarius comes in, and it's a very disruptive time as the energy changes. I think the planet goes in reverse between the two signs for a little while as well. So it's really this kind of very disruptive energy where a lot of big things happen. I think in the past it's things like the Wall Street crash happened around this time, and you know, really big events throughout history. I've just saw 3355 that bring in these massive changes, and it's like structural societal changes. Oh, I'm getting very cold and goosebumpy right now. It's like massive shake-ups, it's like massive tower moments all over the place that really rock the foundations of our society, and it's making way, it's creating space, right? It's like chaos is a ladder for this new Aquarius energy to come in, which is much more, it's a really humanitarian sign. It's the Aquarius energy loves everybody in it, and it loves the uniqueness of people. It loves people to be individual, to think outside of the box. It's a very creative period. So I'm really excited to know, my hand's gone cold as well, I'm really excited to know that we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and it's actually this that triggered me. It's this that triggered all of this. I might have mentioned it in my tarot origin story, but before Christmas, it kind of popped into my head. I'd read about this. I'd read about this 30-year thing when I was a teenager. And I was like, what, I've got to put up with this for another, 20 years or something? And I was like, right, all my young adult life is taken over by this very oppressive energy. And I was reading about it and I was so disappointed. And then I was reading about the Aquarius energy and how it changed. And I completely forgot about it. This is like in the 90s, like I read about this. And then completely forgot about it until just before Christmas. It was probably like September or something maybe. And I remembered, and I was like, I'm sure one of the big planets is about to move. And I looked it up, and indeed it is. And then like all this kind of psychic, I don't know, tarot card, I don't know, receiving messages in my head business started. It's like it triggered it. So yeah, she's crazy. Hi. If you've been here for 35 minutes and you've only just realised I'm crazy, what took you so long? But anyway, but you can go and look it up, and I'll try and put a link in the description box below about this change into Aquarius energy. It's liberating. It's a liberating energy for the planet. A really creative time, a really artistic time. It's beautiful. I see it as probably, I mean, I don't know the logistics of it, but I see it very much as, I studied the switch between the Augustan period of Rome, which was the switch between Rome being a republic run by kind of meant to be democratic, right? But it was really run by posh people, which was, it was very, very traditional, very sort of basically, if you weren't born into a wealthy family, there was very, very, very little chance of you succeeding in the Roman world during the Republic. Very much as like America now. You can't run in politics. You can't, you just can't be president unless you have a whole lot of money behind you, unless you have that networking, unless you can get a small loan of $1 million off your dad, right? There's no room for the little man to ever succeed in that environment. So it's very, very similar to the Roman Republic. And so my specific period that I studied was the switch, the Augustan period, where the fall of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire, which was a little bit more like a kingdom, right? An empire. It had kind of the one person who ran everything. There's a lot of parallels you can make with politics one way or another, so we'll just leave that there. Otherwise I'll be going on about it for hours. But yeah, it's kind of like one man running the show, which again is kind of elitist. Any kind of political system will have people who seize power and become elitist, but at that period, at that tipping point, there was a huge rise in the arts, a huge rise in poetry, in storytelling, in sculpture, in architecture. That's why they call it the Golden Age, because there was this movement of like, who are we as a culture? What makes us unique in the world? What makes us as Romans special? And so you have people like Ovid, who is my favourite author, favourite poet, along with Shakespeare, and I love him because he's so irreverent, right? He's so irreverent. He kind of makes fun of everything, anything that he sets up in the next poem he knocks down. There's no rules with Ovid, and I love that about him. He's very much, to me, that kind of Aquarius, playful, comic, clown energy, that's disruptive, that asks questions, that probes, that says, okay, so that's a tradition, that's a rule. Why? Because I can undermine it. Okay, and like, yeah, really, why am I waffling on about this? Have I lost you all? Is anyone still here? But yeah, ultimately, Augustus kind of cracked down on Ovid and sent him off to, what was it, the Sea of Tumis? I don't know. He said he kind of exiled him. But the damage was done. Ovid had done his work, and people were asking questions about authority. So I hope you got something from that, all that waffle. They're giving me all that jazz, which is Chicago. Don't know if that's relevant to anyone. So do we have anything else? Anything else here? How do I want to do this? I'm just going to have it kind of like that, I think. So these cards are out of the way. So this may be a completely different message coming through now, or it may be relevant to what we just discussed. I don't know. So come on, universe, what else do you want to tell me today? Yin and poised and imagine. Right, okay, yin energy is a very, very creative energy. It's imaginative energy. So you may be dealing with someone who's very creative here. Oh, I've got another one, and breathe. So breathe, poised, and yin. So it's very, very feminine energy. It's nurturing, it's gentle, it might be somebody here in your life that's quite playful with these two fairies. So yeah, there may be someone around you, or this may be you, who kind of, it's a feminine energy, it's a playful kind of fairy spirit. It can be within men or women. It's just a kind of energy, a playfulness. I'm seeing it very much as this kind of comic energy, of like kind of gently teasing, gently playful, kind of, I've seen it as kind of like asking questions for your own good. So like kind of like, well, why is that? Why is that a rule? How do you feel about that rule? This kind of thing. Where it's kind of probing, gently supportive probing. You may have a domineering father and a very kind of a mother perhaps who's very nurturing and loving, but gently disruptive. You see what I mean? It's like it gives you these little ideas in your head where you're like, oh, why am I following that rule? You know, I'm like, is that a sensible rule? I don't know. That's for some of you. It's not going to be for everybody. But I'm also seeing is with this poised card, it's like somebody ready to take a leap of faith, somebody who, again, it's like up on this pedestal, right? There's this column here, and you had starborn, so somebody may be in the spotlight. I do see Aquarius energy, a lot of Aquarius energy in this reading, as somebody who's in the spotlight, somebody who is on a pedestal, has a platform, perhaps are very good at public speaking, yeah, or just somebody who's looked up to, and looked up to, I think, because they have this playful, mischievous spirit, right? Because it's almost like they're throwing these stars up into the air. It's like you get a star, and you get a star, and you get a star. It's like a generousness of spirit of, well, I have this fame. How can I support others around me? How can I, it may not be fame, but it could be like respect, some kind of platform. It's like, how can I use this to, in a way that's going to grow, in a way that's going to expand, in a way that's going to kind of make this bubble of happiness bigger. But I feel it's also kind of like poised, ready to take a jump, ready to maybe jump into this position of being in the spotlight. It's like self as well, putting yourself first. Showing your true colours, showing your true self. Is somebody literally a comedian? But yeah, like ready to do something, ready to take a leap, ready to follow the call, answer the call. But it's you need to take a few deep breaths. You need to keep calm. You need to find your stability. Otherwise, you're going to topple off this platform, right? You know, you need to keep the balance. You can't be like jumping and dancing and skipping around up there, because that's dangerous. So keep calm, keep breathing, keep that self-control, just keep a level head, and just be ready if this is coming in for you. And then yeah, yin energy, very, very gentle. It's very caring, very supportive, very nurturing of others. So I'm seeing it really as this, you as the comic. You know, if this is coming in for you, if but you might not even be aware of it yet. It might just be hatching, kind of behind the scenes. But when it does hatch, and if you find yourself in this position where you're suddenly thrust into the limelight, or you're suddenly in a position where you know, people are paying attention to you for some reason, keep calm and stay in that gentle yin energy of the gentle comic, the supportive comic, the person who nurtures. Yeah, really imaginative energy as well. I'm going to pull that down. Treasure Island underneath there as well. Yeah, it's very, very, very creative energy. Very expressive, loving. It's funny as well. That's just not the camera, I'm sorry. It's funny as well because I think as I was making my coffee this morning, I was thinking about somebody who's in the limelight, who really does care about other people. They're a very humanitarian person, and they really care about other people. They take things to heart quite a lot, and yeah, really genuinely, somebody who really genuinely cares about people for who they are. It's not that they are just paying attention to, I don't know, I think I need to just shut up right now. Somebody who sees the value in people, for people, sees the humanity within people, and that's whether it's somebody who's like on a pedestal, somebody who's great, or somebody who's just small. Not small, nobody's small. Somebody who's kind of on the sidelines, you know, somebody who cares about everybody, and they want the whole community to kind of be happy. Let's go. What energy is here? What energy is here? Golden egg. So this is a missed opportunity though. Don't miss the opportunity. Keep calm. Don't miss this golden opportunity. And the eagle. I see the eagle actually as, you want to be the eagle. Can you imagine that? Because this is kind of like gold in the middle. It's like the eagle swooping down towards this nest to snatch this golden opportunity. The eagle I see as justice. I see it as Libra energy. So we've got Aquarius and Libra in here now. And I'd put that as Capricorn energy there, the father. So don't miss the opportunity. Seize the opportunity when it comes. The crow. That's like the cosmic egg I was talking about. The crow protects the cosmic egg until it's the right time for it to hatch. The cosmic egg is kind of like when it's this kind of universal energy, it's just an idea, it's just a concept, it's not actually anything tangible yet. But when it's ripe, when the time's ripe, it turns into the golden egg, which is a golden opportunity, which you can then seize the opportunity when it comes in. Right now the universe is still protecting it for you. What flipped out? The crows again, look here. Five of Swords. Don't miss the opportunity. You may feel like you've missed an opportunity actually with the Five of Swords. With the golden egg in reverse and the Five of Swords, this is like, yeah, this is really feeling like you've missed an opportunity. It's like the crows are pecking his head. The crows are, they're not good and they're not bad. I see them as like agents of the universe. They carry messages. They make us aware of things. The crows were going crazy. I can see a crow. I can see a crow on the rooftops. I'm just going to open my window because it's actually getting very, very warm. The crows, yeah, have been really noisy this morning, actually, trying to get my attention. And there he is. Hello, crow. So you may hear them chatting. It's funny as well because I was getting those two songs. I was getting Timberland and Timberland, or two artists, Oasis and Oasis. And I was out for a walk the other day and I kept seeing two black crows. Not the same two black crows, lots of different crows, but they were all flying in twos. So something significant about the number 2, I think, for you at the moment. There you go. Is that a crow? Baby crow, I think. Yeah, the Five of Swords, it's a card about losing the battle, but you can still win the war. That's the kind of main message I get from that. So there's something you've missed, some kind of opportunity that you've missed, something that didn't work out, a disappointment. But swords is strategy energy. So it's telling you that that it's not lost, it's not a missed opportunity. There's still something that can be gained from this. You can kind of pick up the scraps of the situation and keep going and fight another day. So don't think that it's the all is not lost card. The Tower there in the underlying. Okay, do we have anything else from this pack, please, for this reading today? Okay, one card, one more chance. Do we have anything? Thank you. Anything else for this reading, please? Yeah, the Sun. And the King of Swords in the underline there as well. The King of Swords has been hiding. I've noticed in other readings as well, the King of Swords keeps hiding. He's got a truth to tell, but I think he's been a bit strategic. He's kind of keeping in the shadows a little bit. What are they showing me? The Ace of Pentacles, yeah. There's something going on here. The King of Swords is relating to this Ace of Pentacles, which is this golden opportunity. But he's being very, very secretive at the moment. He doesn't want to he's an upright energy. He's a good energy. He's someone who's a strategist, a good communicator, very logical thinker, can be a little bit cold, but he's the difference between the kings and the queens is the queens are very expressive and the kings are more reserved. So he will take action and he will speak his truth, but only in his timing, when the time's right, when it's the golden opportunity to do so. But at the moment he keeps hiding. So yeah, that King of Swords, whoever that is at the moment, just keeps hiding in my reading, in other people's reading. Four of Swords, the Sun, the World, and Two of Cups. Okay, well, I'm going to go for the Sun and Two of Cups first, because these are... No, actually, do you know what? No. Let's go with this one first. I feel like this is the energy that somebody's in currently. Feeling like they've missed a golden opportunity. Feeling like there's something disappointing, something didn't work out. Maybe like they didn't work out the way it planned. And then you've got this Four of Swords energy again as well. So lots of sword energy. These two together, it's like really kind of like being in your head. Your own thoughts kind of giving you a lot of anxiety, a lot of doubts, a lot of worry. But they're kind of like needing this time to heal here, right? Needing time to just kind of curl back up in your nest. So I see that as like your bed, right? Really taking some time out. It's like worrying yourself sick. You know, giving yourself a migraine, something like this. It's like, I just need to be alone with my own thoughts for a while. I need to think things through. I need time to kind of strategize this properly, to process this properly. I need time to heal. Just noticing this like thread here as well. This thread, it's like with this heart, it's like tying together your thoughts. So like perhaps this is like different things that have happened, and you're taking the time to kind of work out what the connection is between these different things that have happened. You're really like strategically taking time out to heal or to think a situation through. So I'm going to put that over there, because I think that might be why somebody's feeling like they've got some kind of missed opportunity. I'm sure I saw this kind of theme in somebody else's reading as well, but I don't know whose it was. I think the Five of Swords and the Four of Swords came out together as well yesterday in one of the star sign readings, but I really can't remember which one. But I was saying all is not lost. You can still seize this opportunity. There's still something there that can be recovered, because you also have the World card. This is about completing a cycle, it's like a major cycle in your life, learning some kind of major lesson. So it can be a card of movement, of actual global travel, of stepping into a brand new role in life. It's like a whole new career, or just some kind of big change. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a change in a tangible sense of physical movement. It can also be like you've learned some kind of major lesson. You've experienced something that you were meant to experience, kind of like as a fated thing, because it's part of your soul growth, your soul development, and it's kind of like you've checked that box now. You've learned that lesson. You're coming to the end of this cycle, which once you've learned the lesson, a whole new cycle, a whole new phase of learning, of experience can begin. It's completing something. Some kind of element of your life is closing out and completing. It's moving you towards a very, very, very happy place. This golden egg, right, for you is beautiful cards. It's like some of the best cards you can get from the deck. The Sun, this is like extreme happiness. It's also a card about being in the spotlight, of things being revealed. So again, like quite similar. Can you see that she's got a similar pose here? Arms outstretched, reaching up to the heavens, really happy, dancing. It's like extreme happiness. Extreme happiness, realizations, healing. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. It's also Leo, if we're talking about what's coming through here. Again, lots of Aquarius energy, because swords are air signs. Aquarius is an air sign. I know some people think it's a water sign, but it's a very transmutive sign, right? It's that alchemical sign, but it is an air sign. And then this beautiful depiction of the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups is about some kind of relationship between two people that is very equal, very fair, equal give and take. It's like you may come from different backgrounds, but you see eye to eye. And the energy when these two people come together is a very positive, creative energy. You can see all these beautiful beautiful rainbows. It's like healing as well, pouring into these two cups, or coming up out of these two cups into them. It's an emotionally equal, emotionally fulfilling relationship between two people who are like equals in every way. If this is a romance for you, it's somebody who is your equal, who's like matches you on matches your vibrational energy, matches your similar dreams, similar wishes, similar goals in life, just a very, very compatible energy. So if you're connecting with someone like that, it's no wonder that you're hearing the siren call towards them, because that's what's drawing you, right? This is what the siren call is for you. Wherever you're being drawn, wherever you're being called, it's because it's the universe trying to get you to this. If this energy is out there for you, if this golden egg is there for you, this golden opportunity, and that's what that egg means to you, of course you're being drawn towards it. I feel like that energy is saying, why are you going after this siren's call? Don't be so stupid. You're not being stupid. The universe is pulling you towards your happiness. Look at that. Look at that, how beautiful it is. I'm glad I bought this pack. What's that King of Swords up to though? He's so sneaky at the moment. Okay, we're nearly up to the hour mark. I feel like I need to wrap it up. But before I do, beautiful. What else could I end on but that beautiful Aquarius energy? This is some kind of emotional offer coming into you. This is the cup. This is the cup coming in for you. I feel like it might be, when it comes in, it might feel over emotional, because look at that massive wave about to knock her over. It's quite young, it's quite naive, it's very, very hopeful. It's almost like too good to be true, or hard to believe, with that fish in the cup as well. There may be somebody who's perhaps living in the head a little bit here. You might be thinking, is this too good to be true? It's not possible, but it is possible. The fish is in the cup. The fish is in the cup. Surprise! Aquarius energy again there. You've got the Hangman, that's Aquarius energy, and the crow again, the crow's bringing in the golden opportunity, the pentacle. Looking at whatever this golden egg is, right, okay, sorry. Looking at whatever this golden egg is, because this is the golden egg, right, the representation of it, the crow's bringing it in for you. Yeah, the crow's been protecting it for you all this time. This universal crow is now trying to give you this offer. But whatever this offer is for you, you're looking at it. It may be a bad offer. You may have two offers on the go here. One's a good one, one's a bad one. And you can see that they're both turned upside down. So this is looking at something from a new perspective, looking at something from a different angle. I feel like you are assessing something from a lot of different angles here. Because look, the crows are like pecking your head. The crows are in your head. About this offer. I feel like maybe there's two things going on here. I'm getting like two different energies. One is like the protective crow bringing in a golden opportunity, and then the other is like a deceptive crow bringing you a false opportunity. And I feel like maybe you're torn between these two things. You don't know what to believe right now. But I'd follow your calling. I'd follow your intuition. Take some deep breaths. Follow your intuition. If you're moving towards your happiness, that's going to feel good, that's going to feel right, and that's your intuition. Okay, I've got a bit of a story time here. The first card though is you've got the Eight of Swords there as well. That's like mentally trapped, mentally blocked. There's some kind of mental blockage for you right now that I think you're processing, you're dealing with, trying to look at from a different angle. But this is, again, the Aquarius card. So I'm getting strong Aquarius energy from this. So whether this is because you're Aquarius or have strong Aquarius energy in your chart right now, or because it's the Aquarius energy trying to come through to us because we're moving into the age of Aquarius, because Aquarius energy tries to get us on our soul path, to do the things that speak to our soul. I don't know, it might just be the Aquarius energy speaking to us all right now very, very strongly, because it's starting to come through. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. This is so star energies. I'm really getting strongly that somebody may be in the limelight, somebody may be in a position where there's a lot of eyes on them, where but again, or it could just be because following your soul path, being your true authentic self, is what's going to bring you success. But this is a card about dreams, about wishes, about what you want in life, it's that call, it's that calling of like, what is important to you, what speaks to your soul. What did you want when you were a child? You were saying before, what did you want when you were a child? What were your dreams and your wishes? What did you think as you kind of grew older and those wishes and dreams started to fade and you thought, that's never possible, that's not for me, that's never going to happen. It's like the Aquarius energy is like, now is the time when you can make your dreams and wishes happen, whatever those things may be for you. Perhaps you're after a sexy lady. But it's also a very, very healing card. She's got kind of 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. Again, it's this Aquarius energy of like being multifaceted, being changeable, being an alchemist. She's very, very balanced. She's pouring 1 jug out onto the water, 1 jug onto the land. Balance, finding a balance, being grounded. It's like being grounded, being practical, but being emotional at the same time. How can you make your dreams into a tangible reality? How can you make your emotional truths, I don't know what I was going to say there. How can you make your dreams and wishes, your emotional truths, into something that's grounded and practical, and stable and achievable, right? And now is the time for you to be able to do this. And you've got that stork card there as well. The stork is like bringing in some kind of gift from the universe. The stork is the card that brings in the baby, right? And you've got this kind of like golden egg here. So it's like all these birds are trying to bring this dream, this golden opportunity, this wish into you right now. I think what's causing you a bit of trouble is possibly too many people involved, too many voices around you, too many people pecking your head, too many the thoughts and opinions of others. And it's kind of like, because you're a very humanitarian person, if this is the person I'm talking to, because you care a lot about people, you care about the thoughts and opinions of others, and you really listen to people, and you really want to understand people and process their thoughts. You care about, you value the thoughts and opinions of others. But what that sometimes means is that you're so busy thinking about what everybody else has said that you're not listening to your inner voice. And you really need to listen to your inner voice, your inner truth, that pearl of wisdom inside yourself right now, because that's your guiding light right now. That's going to, if you're confused, if you're in this energy over here where your thoughts and opinions of others are kind of too much for you, too much to process, do some meditation work. Breathe, right? This is meditation. Look at this. Do the meditation work. Whatever that means for you. Be calm, be still, listen to that inner voice, listen to that pearl of wisdom inside yourself, because look, this is what's bringing in all these beautiful, vibrant colours for you. That's who you should be listening to, your inner voice. Okay, the thoughts and opinions of others, yes, they are valuable, but they're their thoughts and opinions. That's their inner voice speaking. You need to listen to your inner voice, okay? There may be some kind of situation with work here. Again, we've got another crow. Look at how many crows we're getting in this reading. The Eight of Pentacles is doing something over and over and over again, really perfecting it. And I don't know what this is for you, but there's something that you've been working hard on, something that you've really mastered, some kind of skill, something tangible that you've mastered, you've perfected. You're kind of like a master at whatever this is. And this crow again has been sat here supporting you, bringing you this knowledge, this wisdom. There is something ending for you here though. The death card, it doesn't mean a literal death. Okay, the death card comes in as kind of like a final closure. It's something that is ending. Very rarely can it be revived. So you might be leaving a job perhaps because you've mastered it, because you've done everything. There's nothing left to learn. There's no enjoyment in it anymore, because you're just doing the same job over and over and over again, with no growth. No growth. There's no growth. There's no opportunity there. So it might be time to walk away from this situation. Again, do trust your inner voice here and the voices around you on this. Don't just go and end your job because this tarot card reading says so. That's ridiculous. Really, you will know if this is time. This will be resonating with you, and do it in a tangible, well planned, well thought out sense. Okay. But the death card in this deck, I really love this death card because you can see this little boy holding up these flowers here, and he's welcoming death in because he knows that death is here to clear out old energies that are like this energy here that is oppressive, that's keeping you stuck in a place where you're not happy, you're not fulfilled. It's here to clear out the things that are keeping you stuck so that you can have this brand new cycle. Death comes before the world here, okay, because this is like, you've completed a cycle, you've done it, you've done everything there is to do, you've learned everything there is to learn. So death comes to close something out so that you can step into a whole new world, a whole new cycle in your life. And here's the King of Pentacles. So this is where it's leading you. So you had the Eight of Pentacles, right? The King of Pentacles is a leveling up in a tangible sense. We've got the rain, we've got the storm. Did I say there was going to be a storm at the start of the reading? So yeah, the King of Pentacles. This could be someone who could help you, but I feel like this is you. It's very much like Capricorn energy again here. So I don't know how it's come out at the start of the reading and the end of the reading. I feel like this is you. Okay, thank you. They've clarified. So this is you becoming the father, okay? But you're not becoming your father. You can see there's two different energies here on this card, okay? You are not your father. You are not the person, not necessarily the father. You are not the person who came before. It's like the apprentice is now the master. It's like some kind of term like that. It's like the student has become the teacher. The student has become the teacher. Look, it's number 2 as well. I told you 2s were important for you. You are not the person who came before, okay? They have their way. They have their system that they have perfected because that's their system that works for them, okay? You've learnt their system. It's like, but now it's time to innovate. They're showing me artists. They're showing me like you know, like Renaissance art schools where, or not even Renaissance art schools, like early 1900s, I think people like he was doing it, who drew Cézanne, like these people who go to the art school, they learn from the old masters, right? This is the old master. They've learned everything there is to learn, but they can see now, they can see that there's places where they can innovate, where that Aquarius energy can come in and be innovative and do something new, do something fresh, do something that kind of breaks the mold, break out of the box. Because there's new ways of doing things now. The earth, time moves on, things change, new opportunities abound. They're showing me a film. Oh, what was the name of that film? I'll have to try and remember. It's a film about, the kind of premise of it is this guy goes to meet his daughter's husband, and her daughter, he's very much Aquarius energy again. The husband of his daughter is like this multi-billionaire. He's I think he makes computer games or something, but he's like all over the place. It's like he's got ADHD or something. He's like this very creative, very enthusiastic, kind of all over the place type person. And obviously the dad hates him, but it's like the dad has a business. I think he has like a paper company or something like this, and his business is struggling, and it's because he's not innovating. He's doing these tried and tested things that aren't working because times have changed. The needs of the global economy have changed. He's not keeping up with the new trends. So the Aquarius energy, the son-in-law, is a techie guy. He knows all the kind of, and his son as well, the man's son, he kind of like knows all the tech, knows all the latest trends in the tech world. He knows where kind of like the places are to invest money, to invest time, because that's where the opportunities lie, right? Oh God, this reading is making so much sense now. I'm so glad it led me here. I really will try and remember that film. I'm going to write film ? I'll try and look it up. But yeah, it's so it's that kind of energy. It's like you're becoming the father now. You're becoming the new CEO. You're becoming the new teacher, the new senpai, because you're the next generation of this energy. You've learned everything there is to learn. You've learned from the best, right? You've learned from the best. You've learned from the masters. But now you can put your own spin on it, and it's taking you from a place where you've been studying, you've been learning, you've been doing something over and over again. Okay, that's the period of like mastering this art into something that is going to be your position of power, your abundance. Brilliant. I love it. what more is there, what else is there to say? That is a brilliant reading. I love it. If you've managed to sit here with me for the whole hour and 10 minutes, high five. Love you, appreciate you. Thank you for giving me those watch hours. Hugs. I really do appreciate you all coming to my videos and sitting with me while I ramble on about all these kind of random things. But I love the messages that come through. I really love doing this. I find this is my rewarding thing to do. Like, this is my thing that feels very fulfilling to me, and my gaming channel as well. So yeah, I really appreciate the people who do come and support me. Thank you so much. Thank you to the people who subscribe. I know that not everybody wants to do that, because not everybody always feels comfortable admitting that they're watching tarot readings. It's kind of a little bit of a bit of an off the wall thing. I understand that. It's a little bit, it's not something that maybe, you know, you might be scared of the judgment of others about, right? You might be scared it's not socially acceptable. You might want to just kind of watch my readings in secret, and that is totally okay. I understand completely. They're very, very personal as well. Tarot readings sometimes can really like hit you right on the heartstrings, and I've had that myself as well, where I've thought, like, this person, it's like that Fuji song, Killing Me Softly. It's like strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with this tarot card reading. So I've had that, and where I've been in like the sky right now, like this storm. It's like my tears just flowing freely. Yeah, they're very personal. I understand that not everybody wants to comment, not everybody wants to subscribe or like, and I don't expect you to, but the fact that you're coming to my readings and spending time with me, that I just saw 1 hour 11 minutes and 11 seconds. It means a lot to me that you're here, and if you've made it to the end of the video, you're my favourites. You're my favourites. Don't tell the others. All right, do take care. Have a good day. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Take care. Bye bye.